Okay, this tutorial is just showing you the different kinds of reports that you have available on Infinite Campus. A lot of these aren't going to really show any information because we haven't started school yet, but I'll show you at least where they are. So when you log into Infinite Campus and you're on campus instruction, you go down to the left bar and go down to where it says reports. And they're pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of have to know what you're looking for. But for attendance, maybe you want to look it up for TopCat and see if your students were gone too many days. And then for select report, you can choose things like, I would just choose attendance summary because that would show, the days that they were absent. And then you just choose what term you want, semester 1, semester 2, and it should automatically go to homeroom, and that should be fine for us as elementary teachers. And click on generate report. And then it shows your students, how many times they were absent and things like that. So then you can see this actually is really cool because it gives you a number and you can see really easily when students were absent, how many absences they have, how many tardies they have. So that's going to be really great for us for TopCat. If you go to attendance register, and then they want you to make sure you choose the thing. So just make sure you check all your drop downs that everything's filled in, and then generate the report. And this one shows exactly what days they were absent and everything. So whatever is easier for you to look at would be the report that you would want to do for attendance. This is gradebook reports, if you go down to the next one, and they have different options, flagged assignments, missing assignments. Those are kind of the only two that I see that would work, maybe student summary, but I don't have my gradebook set up, so it's kind of hard to see what it would do. So just kind of play around with it and see what comes up. Maybe that's something that you will find handy for you, but I would say probably missing assignments, flagged assignments, those are things that I would print, just so it's easy to pull it up. This next report is for your planner, and this is if you do your lesson planning through the system. I personally am not going to be lesson planning through the system, but you can do that. And if you want to do that, if you go over here to the top, there's a thing that says planner, and you can kind of play around with that and see, if that's something that you want to do. That personally, I'm not going to use that. And then I already showed the roster reports in another tutorial so you can see, but you can also print a blank spreadsheet, and I'll show you what that looks like. So for me personally, I use this to track things for Fridays. They have to have a certain amount of work done, and I can see very easily who has stuff missing. So I'm going to title this Friday 8/12, whatever. I don't even know if that's a Friday, but that's okay. And then I'm going to say that I want to have 8 blank columns. They have 8 assignments that have to be done by that week. And I want it to be landscape because that'll use up the least amount of paper. And I want all my students on this spreadsheet. So I'll generate the report. And it brings up their name. And then I can write in things at the top. Maybe they had a word work assignment and a writing assignment and some other things that they turned in, and then I can just check it off, and I can print this off, and you can use this for pretty much anything in your class. Let me see what it looks like if you did portrait. Maybe portrait uses less paper with this system. Okay, so there's portrait. And portrait got them all on one page, so now I know that. But that's what a blank spreadsheet would look like, which is really cool if you have a checkoff list. Paperwork hasn't come in or something, you'd want to do that. So that's really cool. So those are the reports that they have. So I just encourage you to kind of play around with them and see what is something that you would maybe want to use. And then I know I went over that kind of quickly, but you can always replay it and click around. You're not going to break it if you click around on it, so don't be worried about that. Okay.